Hi everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading a multi-character thriller by me, so let's get into it. Xiao and you were always friends, for as long as you remember. And he was the kind of person the most. He cared about you more than he did most people, and that was enough. It was more than enough for you, since not a lot of people were lucky enough to have someone like Xiao in their life. But then, Venti came along, and he was something else entirely. Venti was loud, outgoing, funny, and adventurous. There were so many things about him that were totally different to Xiao. It was fun, doing something different with someone else. But soon enough, he realized that your feelings with Venti may have been different. They're not the same like they are with Xiao. Xiao is your best friend, someone you can always rely on, someone who loves you and cares for you. So, you're not scared to tell him. You tell him about your feelings and about what you think, wanting to hear your thoughts on this. But you never expect him to be so upset. He looks sulky the moment you tell him, looking away and telling you things such as love are not too important and that he's not had much experience in them. But he's a liar. A big, big liar. Because even though he has never been a partner of someone, he stayed with you for as long as you could remember too. You were just something special for him. You were different to Xiao from anyone else. And he's hoped that he could be the same for you too. Maybe the two of you were just friends for now. But to Xiao, your relationship meant much more to him. You've changed his life after all. And slowly, but surely, he began realizing the truth of his feelings for you. And that's why, when you told him about your feelings towards Venti, he was more than disheartened. In fact, it was a lot for him to go through. He was by your side all this long, and yet, he never felt anything towards him. He didn't think that this relationship was in vain, because Xiao wasn't like this. He knew you were just friends, and he didn't mistake it for anything else. But deep inside, he'd hoped that somewhere along the line, your feelings towards him would change into something else, something more. But it didn't. And right now, he was going to lose you to this idiot bard. And he was not going to stand there and take it. Xiao was nothing if not valiant and determined. And this time, he was determined to get your heart for himself. And he was not going to give you up for this idiot. And his attempt started the moment you told him about this. Actually, maybe a few days after, because he was kind of busy sulking and thinking things over. Remember those days you would go out with Venti in the morning to get breakfast? Forget it, because Xiao was by our side right now, and I wanted to get breakfast with you every single morning. Maybe when you were busy he would relent, but otherwise he was right there. He was really just freeing up his schedule just to be more with you. You would receive gifts on your door in the morning, and Venti noticed it too. And that's why I started asking who this person was, and when he realized it was Xiao. And then I was Venti getting jealous too, wanted to win your heart over him. And there started their rivalry, as they both tried to outdo each other for your attention, while you were just an innocent witness, seeing what was going on and being utterly confused by all of it. Venti would overtake you on adventures, letting you ride Valen and taking you to places you never knew even existed. And Xiao, on the other hand, would spend some more time with you, taking you to places in Liyue that were considered more romantic. He told you the history of them, and every time he would tell you, You'd find yourself blushing, realizing the hint that he was trying to give you, but you could never give him a sign you did, not knowing what you were feeling. You were confused, because your feelings of Venti were different, but when Xiao started being all like this, so soft and attentive, you started to realize that maybe you also felt different about him too. And you didn't know who you wanted. Did you want Venti or Xiao? And what would happen the moment you chose one over the other? What would become of Venti if you chose Xiao? Or Xiao if you picked Venti? You had no idea, and you were worried they would leave you. So you felt like you were trapped. And soon enough, he told them that you wanted distance from them both. And that moment, they decided to give you that space that you needed. Even though Xiao was worried, thinking you just wanted to think of what you were going to do and how you were going to confess to Venti. And Venti was worried about the opposite, thinking you were going to get along with Xiao. It was just a big mess. And then you told them both that you wanted to be a thing. All of you. You, Xiao, and Venti. Which was kind of weird. And even though Venti was mostly okay with it, you know, if Xiao was being fair and not all selfish and wanting you for himself, Xiao was kind of not very alright with it. He didn't like the idea of Venti being with you while he was there. Did that mean he would hug you more often? What if you just had favorites? And he didn't want anyone else having you but himself. Call him selfish, but he got jealous easily. But after a lot of reassurance from you, and many, many hugs and cuddles, he decided to give it a chance. For you, even if he didn't like the idea of Venti being with you, he would give it a shot, just because it was what he wanted, and he never wanted to say no to you. It would make you happy, and that was all what Xiao wanted. And so, you started having your morning breakfast together, going on adventures with Dwalin, with Venti and Xiao, or Xiao taking you all to the most romantic places in Liyue, but this time with Venti along, writing poems about you too. It was soft, sweet, and something that was relaxing to all of you. You felt loved as long as the two of them were with you, and you were kind of happy that they were starting to get along. Venti was really trying his best, and you could see it from the way Xiao was acting. It seemed that they would get along well, and that was the best news I've ever had in a week. And thankfully, it meant that you could love them both okay.